for having put all her energy. She has led very dynamically with a lot of enthusiasm to put the country's economy back on a revival trajectory. And I would also point out that quarter-on-quarter GDP growth of 8.4% was reported on constant prices. And further, for the first half of this financial year, a GDP growth of 13.7% was reported on the corresponding period of the previous year. And even the GST collections have substantially increased year on year. I respect what the senior Dada has spoke, but I think the rise in inflation and the rise in GST collections, there's a lot of difference. GST collections have definitely increased, and we should definitely appreciate the Honorable Finance Minister, because if something goes wrong, definitely we point out things at her. When something is right, I think she needs to get the credit. This is in the national perspective. But I would like to talk about my state's issues, sir. Before I go into that, I would like to recall that both the NDA and UPA came together and split our state. State bifurcation was thrust on our state, even though we didn't want the bifurcation, people of Andhra didn't want. But that's a old story, sir. But during bifurcation, two things were promised to us, sir. We call the Parliament Temple of Democracy. Every word has to be respected here. The previous Honorable ex-Prime Minister Manmohan ji and the current Honorable Prime Minister Shri Modi ji, both of them promise various things, sir. And I think this is one of the few issues where NDA, UP have come together and without any dispute have they passed this act and they have split the state. So I would like to recall, sir, that special category status was promised to us, sir. I will tell you why it was promised also, sir. Sir, on the day of when the state was split, if you see the state's per capita, state's own revenues, for Telangana it was 15,454 rupees. And for Andhra Pradesh, it was 8,979 rupees, sir. There's a huge difference, and we had unviable finances, and special category status was promised, sir, both in the house and off the house, sir. So we demand the government should keep up its word, because we are really worried about the future of our state. We were given unviable finances. We don't have a way out, sir. And even AP Reorganization Act, various promises were made in the AP Reorganization Act. And the tenure of the AP Reorganization Act is for 10 years, and it's almost 8 years which have passed now. There's just 2 years left. There are various promises which have to be fulfilled, sir. Before I go into the details of the AP Reorganization Act things, I would like to tell a story, sir, I mean, if with your kind permission. So once, just to point out the attitude, sir, once there was a great king who wanted to help a state, sir. So he called all his wise men, and he said, work out something, and you help that state. So the king, once he told this wise men, the wise men sat together. They said, okay, we will give you a painting of a majestic tiger so that you will overcome all your troubles and things. It will be a very valuable asset, sir. So the wise men sat and they said, okay, the tail should not be so long, make it a little bit short. And they said, one other wise man said, so many stripes are not there in most of the tigers, so reduce the stripes. And one more person said, make the ears short. And one more wise man said, the paws are big, make them small. And finally, the people were anticipating what was there, and there was a big unveiling ceremony. Finally, it was unveiled. They found a cat, sir. It was not a tiger. It was a cat. I just want to tell this story because I want to point out the attitude, sir. All the promises made in the AP Reorganization Act, they're finding one way or the other, sir. There were some irresponsible answers, which I don't want to mention the name. They were saying the tenure of AP Reorganization Act is for 10 years, and it's only 8 years past. Still, we have 2 years to fulfill, sir. What is this sort of answers, sir? We don't accept this sort of answers. Even Polavaram project, they find n number of reasons saying a lot of funds are blocked. Even the revenue deficit gap, there have been a lot of issues which have been pointed out and not fulfilled. Even Petro corridor, now we've been asked to pay viability gap with thousands of crores upfront for setting up the Petro corridor. Even the backward districts grant, which was promised to us, it is very meager, sir. We were promised in the lines of Bundelkhand package or anything. We don't understand why we are being treated like this, why Andhra Pradesh is being treated in this most pathetic way. So we request, sir, we request the government, we request the Honorable Minister, we request the Council of Ministers, even the Honorable Prime Minister to keep up what they have promised, sir. It's not just the NDA, even the UPS, sir. I want the attention of the House because both of them promised, both of them split our state, but now things are happening. Now we are not in a very good situation. So we want the government to help us out in this situation, sir. I would like to point out about the Polavaram project, sir. The Polavaram project was started by late Honorable Chief Minister Y.S. Rajashekhar Reddy. It was designed for 194 TMC. And the project was the execution started before the AP Reorganization Act was announced and before the state was split. The design was for 194 TMC, sir. But if you see, after the AP Reorganization Act was passed, and I think I should read out what was written in the AP Reorganization Act also, sir. It says the Polavaram irrigation project is hereby declared to be a national project. And the other point which I would like to read out is the central government shall execute the project and obtain all requisite clearances, including environmental, forest, rehabilitation, and resettlement norms. Sir, what does this mean, sir? It means that central government will execute this project, and whatever was designed, whatever was planned for 194 TMC, it will be executed, and the whole payment will be made, all clearances will be done. What happened after that is really, I think it's really pathetic, sir, because I want to bring to the notice of the House, sir. After a while, they said, like, we will not permit drinking water component. No other national project in the country, there has been a discrimination for drinking water and irrigation component, which is not fair. And even the revised cost estimate, though it was approved by Technical Advisory Committee, and even the revised cost committee have approved for 55,656 crores. They said, no, we will accept only the one earlier, and it has not been approved in the cabinet. Sir, how are we concerned with this, sir? You clearly promised that we will finish the project at 194 TMC. Whatever was being executed, it was not changed after the Reorganization Act was done or after the state was split. It was designed for 194 TMC, sir. It's basic logic. But why should we go through all this, sir? Why is the central government not executing this project? I agree, sir, they have given to the state, but it was done by the NDA, and when TDP was part of them, I don't know what transpired between them, and it was agreed that state will execute, sir. But now the people of Andhra Pradesh are suffering. Polavaram project is the lifeline of Andhra Pradesh. Through yourself, I request the Honorable Finance Minister, Madam, kindly permit the water component, Madam, because no other national project, there is a discrimination for water component and the irrigation component. So kindly permit this so that the project will not be hampered. And we also request, ma'am, I know you have constraints, it has to go to the cabinet. I also request you to consider sending the revised cost estimate of 55,000 crores to the cabinet so that the project is executed, ma'am. Sir, and I would like to talk about the other things also, what is there, sir. There is inadequate coverage of beneficiaries under National Food Security Act for Andhra Pradesh. So if you see the national level, 75% of the rural population and 50% of the urban population are covered under targeted public distribution system. But for our state, sir, though our GSDP is much lower than various other states comparatively, we have only 61% of rural population and 41% of urban population covered under targeted public distribution scheme. For example, you compare with Karnataka, Gujarat, Maharashtra, they all have above 75%, so 76%, but we have only 60%. So I would like the government to take a note of this and kindly help us out in this. And a request for pending amount of almost 1,700 crores is pending with civil supplies. It's the 10% withheld amounts for the past 6 years. Almost 1,700 crores is pending, and we put several requests for this. And there's one more promise made on the floor of the House. It says that resource gap funding by Government of India for the first year after the bifurcation took place. So even the CAG has audited and given that they've pegged it at 16,078 crores, and there was another other things. So the total resource gap for that year was 22,948 crores, but subsequently they came up with a new concept of a standardized expenditure, and we were permitted only 4,000 crores, 4,117 crores. So through yourself, I request the Honorable Minister and the government, sir, to consider this and help us out. And recently, floods have devastated 4 districts of Andhra Pradesh. So there was huge damage. Almost, if you see, like 44 people died. Even a SDRF constable died, and there were like 1,400 villages and almost 196 mandals which got affected, and there's huge damage which has happened. So I request through yourself, I request the government to release an amount of at least 1,000 crores as interim relief, and also depute interministerial central team to assess the damage and losses caused by the heavy rains. So there were unprecedented rains, sir, not even like, I think in the last 200 years, these were the most heaviest rains. And a lot of tanks got breached, a lot of people lost their lives. So I request the government to act in time, sir. If they help us at a later date, it will not be much useful, because right now it's the time for them to help us out. And I also make a request to the government regarding Visakhapatnam steel plant. So through yourself, I request the government not to privatize Visakhapatnam steel plant, sir, because it is a very good asset. We know there are losses, but it has a huge land bank, and provided we give them a captive iron ore mines, sir. I mean, it is not a loss for the government to give captive iron ore mines to Visakhapatnam steel plant, because when we auction iron ore mines, there is an element of profit for the contractor, and there's a percentage to the government, sir. But when the government allots to Visakhapatnam steel plant, the complete profit is transferred to the government subsidiary. Visakhapatnam is, of course, a government asset, and the valuation of the asset also will go up. We can actually restructure all the finance. I mean, we can do a very good financial restructuring, and I think it will be a very profitable asset, sir. So we request the government to reconsider and not to privatize. Our party demands that the Visakhapatnam steel plant is not privatized, and the government should run the Visakhapatnam steel plant, sir. And I will also like to bring to the notice of the government that post-bifurcation, we don't have tier 1 cities, sir. We have all medium-sized cities. So we are not getting enough investments in the medical sector. We suffered in COVID, sir. Our patients had to go to Hyderabad or Bangalore or Chennai for better treatment. We had very few hospitals. So our Honorable Chief Minister has come up with 13 new medical colleges and hospitals, because there is no other option. When private investment is not coming, the government has to step in and do. So even the Honorable Prime Minister has announced that the Government of India will sanction 1 new government medical college for every uncovered district. So I request, through yourself, I request the Honorable Minister and the government, sir, so to help us out in the construction of these medical colleges. And I would also like to bring to the notice of the Minister that she has, that cryptocurrency, whatever regulation is being done, I would also know, I'd also like to understand what is the, what regulation or what's the government doing to regulate these non-fungible tokens, because it is also, it also needs to be regulated. And in the end, sir, I request the government, sir, to increase our MP lads, because MP lads are most effectively used when we go into the constituency. We can help people then and there. We don't need, it cuts down the red tape. So the amount we increase is directly going to go into the, going to help the public, sir. So through yourself, I request the Honorable Finance Minister to consider increasing MP lads. And in the end, I request once again, I request the Honorable Finance Minister, and I request the government, I request even the Prime Minister to be sympathetic towards Andhra Pradesh. Please help us out. We have suffered enough, and the tenure of the AP Reorganization Act is just 2 more years. So kindly help us out. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.